Hello and welcome to Cost Accounting. Now we're going to do exercise 4.3, cost per equivalent unit, weighted average method. And we're taking a look at how to look at the costs and how to take a look at the equivalent units of production. And we're required to compute the cost per equivalent unit for materials, labor, and overhead, and then to compute the total cost per equivalent whole unit. So computing the total cost per equivalent whole unit will mean adding materials, labor, and overhead together. So the first thing we want to do is get a total cost. So we can start with cost of beginning work in process. So we'll take a look at what we started with on May 1st. That would be the beginning. And we're going to have materials, labor, and overhead. I'm going to copy down these labels. And so cost of goods for beginning work in process, we're going to have $15,550, $23,720, and $118,900. So we're just copying those down. That's the cost of beginning work in process. And then we're going to add what we did during the month. So the costs during the month. And you can see our costs added are listed here across the top. It's $89,350 for materials, $15,330 for labor, and $71,000 for overhead. And again, these numbers come right from up here. We could have even copied and pasted them down. And then we're going to find the total costs by adding them together. So we're going to add them all together. 15,500 and 89,000, 23 and 15, and 118 and 71. I'm going to make this column a little bigger so we can see the number. And then what we're going to do is we have to figure out the equivalent units of production cost per equivalent unit. So we're going to look at the equivalent units of production, which are here. I'm going to add them down here. Equivalent units of production, and we're going to bring them right down. We're going to bring 1,300, 1,150, and 1,125, and we're going to divide. We're going to take 104 by 130, and that's going to give us our cost per equivalent unit of production. So the next thing we're going to do is say 104.9 divided by 1,300, and we get 80.69, and we're going to do that for all three. I'm just going to copy and paste my formula across. So again, we're going to take the total costs and we're going to divide it by the equivalent units of production. And we'll get our cost per equivalent unit of production. And that's number one. Compute the cost per equivalent unit for materials, for labor, and for overhead. And number two says compute the total cost. So what we need to do is we need to add these three numbers. The 80.69, the 33.96, and the 168. So I will go ahead and total them. And I get 238.45. And that represents my total cost per equivalent unit. So that's what we get right there for $238.45. And that's how you complete exercise 4.3. Thanks for watching.